What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. I want to talk a little bit about Maxx Crosby, defensive end for the Las Vegas Raiders. I think the dude is nasty. I really do believe he's in that top 5 conversation for defensive players, particularly because I feel like he's just underrated, and he doesn't get enough credit, and I want to give him credit. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. But let's talk about Maxx Crosby, because I think pass rushing wise, one of the best on the planet. Run stopping wise, one of the best on the planet. My problem that I tend to have is that when you think of who's the best defensive player in the world in the NFL, whatever you want to call it, and it's like a lot of people will go, okay, TJ Watt. Okay, yeah, I get that argument. Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, Nick Bosa, Aaron Donald. We get all these guys, and I very rarely, in any talk show, any radio show, very rarely hear them bring up Maxx Crosby's name, but I think he's in that echelon. And I'm mostly going to go off eye test here. So if you haven't really watched the guy play, sure, I'll put some highlights in here, but like you got to watch it. You got to watch him play to really get it, right? Defensive players, you can't just hear it. You got to see it. On that end, when he comes off the line, he may be the fastest pass rusher in the NFL. He might be the quickest off the line, off the snap. And right tackles have the worst time dealing with him. Trust me, like I said many times, I'm a Chargers fan, so I watch this guy wreck game plans at least 2 games a year. He destroys us. That's what he does, and I respect it. And I think when we get into this conversation of like who these top 5 guys are or whatnot, I'm not saying he's better than Nick Bosa or Micah Parsons or Aaron Donald or TJ Watt or Myles Garrett. I'm not saying he's better than any of those guys. I want to make that clear. I just think he's in the conversation. Some order he's in there. And he doesn't get put in it whenever he's talked about. And to be honest, he's really not talked about enough. I mean, through 5 games this year, he has 5 sacks, 8 tackles for loss, a ton of pressures. I think he's well over 30 pressures. So he just makes life hard on the QB, the right tackle, the right guard, the tight end that's got to chip him, the running back that has to deal with him in the backfield every time he touches the ball. Like, if you watch the Packers game against the Raiders on Monday Night Football, the Packers were trying to do everything in their power to avoid Maxx Crosby. They were chipping him, they were trying everything, and Jordan Love was just getting terrorized. And it kind of go about, like, just his skill, and I don't even think this is... Maybe this is a skill to some people, but his pursuit, like the effort and just the hustle, the energy, the motor that guy has may be the best in the NFL. The way he plays sideline to sideline every single snap that he plays. Like, he is just constantly going. Constantly. And it's never like, oh, he gets knocked down and stays down. He's fighting every inch, every second that he's on the field. And that's something that I think should be appreciated more. And this is while being one of the more durable guys in the NFL. You see these pass rushers, a lot of times they're going to miss a game because they're in the trenches all game long. I don't think he's ever missed a game in his NFL career. Which that, to me, is also very impressive. Because availability is one of the best abilities you can have. It's like, being a Chargers fan, I'll talk about Joey Bosa, right? Great pass rusher. Misses a ton of games. What good is it if you're not playing? Maxx Crosby's out there playing, and I'm not comparing those two, just kind of giving an idea of like how important playing is. Like, if you're on the field, you can make an impact. If you're not on the field, you can't really make an impact. And he's never missing games, never missing snaps. Dude's a dog. See, I want people to kind of, when you're thinking about great pass rushers, great defensive players, great D linemen, whatever echelon you want to put them in, think about Maxx Crosby. Watch Maxx Crosby. I know a lot of people aren't watching a ton of Raiders games because the team just isn't that good. And let's take that as a tangent right now, because the defense outside of Maxx Crosby is very mid or worse. And I'm not trying to trash the Raiders by any means just because I'm a Chargers fan, whatever. But Maxx Crosby, defensively, like the percentages that he accounts for this defense, he accounts for, 57% of the sacks that they have thus far through 5 games. 41% of the pressures, the QB hurries, all that good stuff. 41%. This is, you're going to rotate probably 8, 9 pass rushers, linebackers going after the quarterback during a game. Maybe even more. Probably even more, to be completely honest. And he's accounting for 40 and 50 and 60% of the impact on the defensive side of the ball. That's ridiculous. Imagine if this dude had some actual help and Chandler Jones didn't absolutely lose his mind. We would be witnessing a really special pass rush on this defense. I know they drafted Tyree Wilson. They're hoping he can figure it out. But like right now, Maxx Crosby needs help. And that dude is a freak of nature. Jeez, I'm losing my mind. Losing my voice. He's a freak of nature. I truly do think he's one of the more incredible defensive players to watch. And particularly when I'm watching, a lot of people, when you're watching a football game, you're watching the offense. You're watching the quarterback with the ball. That makes sense. When I watch the Raiders, and this is what I like to do, it doesn't matter who they're playing, especially if they're on the defensive side of the ball, I'm looking at that side of the line wherever he's lined up. Because if you just watch, it's like he's shot out of a cannon. And right tackles can't do anything about it. You can bring a tight end to chip him. You can bring the running back to help. You can bring the guard over to help. But you're just going to have to put so much attention, and he's still going to break your game. He's still going to wreck your offense. He's still going to make a huge play that can turn the tide of a game. And that's the mark, in my opinion, of a truly elite top 5 defensive player. One that can flip the game on its side by himself. And that is what Maxx Crosby is able to do. Game in and game out. So where do you rank Maxx Crosby amongst like defensive ends, defensive players in general? I think you got to have him in that top 5 argument. You got to have him somewhere in there. He deserves more recognition than the guy gets. And I just appreciate dudes that play, balls to the wall. They don't miss games, and they're making plays, and they're just the speed and ferocity that he plays with. It's something to marvel at. And he doesn't get enough credit. I know I've said it a lot, just doesn't get enough credit. So that's what this video is for. Maxx Crosby, you're a baller. I hate dealing with you 2 times a season as a Chargers fan, but it is a joy to watch when you're not trying to kill my quarterback. So I truly enjoy his style, his gameplay, the way he plays. Love the way he plays. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. But do yourself a favor, tune into more Maxx Crosby. Look at more of his highlights. Pay attention. The man is very damn good on the defensive side of the ball, and it's fun to watch. So I'm done. Thanks for watching. Peace.